Welcome to the final episode of this Entrepreneurship Master Class, unlocking your business success and unlocking your potential. If you have missed part 1 and 2 of this masterclass, I would encourage you to go back on this channel and check out those 2 topics. Today we are on part 3, where we are looking at the secrets to unlocking successful contracts at a national and at an international level. The art of securing contracts can build or break your business. And you need to know and understand how to navigate this whole process, because for most people, it's not always easy to access contracts. Yet, that is the key to one of the important things which you need to be aware of to grow your business. In this video, I'm going to guide you through the knowledge of what you need to know to navigate your way around accessing contracts, positioning yourself for those contracts, and the key tools you need to have in place and be aware of for you to never miss any contract. I am Fungai Ndemra. I am an entrepreneur, I'm a tech founder, I am an investor, and I am a STEM ambassador. I am interested in supporting entrepreneurs build their business, scale them, make them thrive, and even exit their businesses. So let's dive right in. Just imagine a scenario where at any given time, you have got 2 contracts at a national level where you are able to supply your services or your products nationwide. Secondly, imagine a scenario where those same contracts can open up international opportunities for you. So how does that happen? Trust me, that doesn't happen by mistake. It has to be a strategic plan that you put in place from day one, and you build your business and weave everything together in such a way that you will be building your blocks to make sure your business and your venture is positioned to look lucrative enough for it to qualify for those kind of contracts. Now, when it comes to securing lucrative contracts at national and at international level, it takes a level of skill and a level of knowledge that you need to acquire and acquaint yourself with it. The first step is being able to write and craft winning contracts. It has become more complex, especially with the global warming and with sustainability, that more topics have been added in terms of the things that you need to be compliant with for you to write a winning bid. Now, this information, trust me, is always available, but the most challenging thing is that you have to spend some time finding the information you need to make sure you include this information in your bid writing or in your contract acquisition proposal. You will need in your proposal to demonstrate your unique proposition, to demonstrate your knowledge for the industry, and to demonstrate that you qualify and you are more than competent to deliver on the contract requirements. You will also need to ensure that you prove the quality of your product or your business qualifies you to be part of those approved suppliers or service providers. You will need to evidence a deep understanding of your clients' or your customers' needs. And you achieve all this through communicating clearly, effectively, and making it more robust, that it hits all the notes, that when the reader is reading your bid or your contract proposal, they will be convinced that you qualify. Rather, also adding on the points that if it is a point-based system, you will want to make sure that as you are writing your answers, you have understood the key words in every requirement. Let's say, for example, a contract questionnaire will come in and say, in 3,000 words, can you describe how you are going to meet the needs of this contract? You realize that here you have been requested to describe, which means your answer must be descriptive. And you must underline the key words, how you are going to deliver on the service or on the quality or on the product. Maybe most of the questions in a contract requirement will go ahead and give you the full description of the key words and the key topics that you are required to include in your answer. So as you now craft your answer to make sure it's a winning answer and it's going to tick all the points and tick all the boxes, what you want to do is to underline every single key word in your answer and then describe how you are going to make sure your answer answers every single key word that you've underlined. And if you do that, you will realize, let's say, for example, if a contract questionnaire is giving you 10 marks, the keywords defined and described in the question are 10. You will make sure that every single answer of those, you'll have 10 answers in your descriptive paragraph. And those 10 answers will address the 10 key points that have been asked. Just by simply doing that, you will maximize the chances of improving the points that you are going to positively answer in the contract questionnaire. In defining and describing your unique product or service proposition, you need to craft your answer in a way that answers to the question that has been presented to you in the contract document. So your unique proposition must hit the keynotes of what the requirement that has been put across to you is. For example, if you have been required to provide a technological health tech solution that solves the missed appointments problems and increased accessibility problems, a good example is one of our ventures called Check Up Health. It's addressing two problems in the marketplace. Number one, missed appointments. Number two, increasing resilience and addressing appointment accessibility for GP practices. So if the question is asking how Checkup Health will address the missed appointments problems and increase appointment accessibility for GP practices, an example is the description that is available on our website. You can see from this page that this page has clearly described and defined how it is addressing the appointment accessibility problem. So there you have it. As you answer those questions, make sure your unique value proposition is clear, is to the point, and it's addressing the key requested information. What you also need to realize is that contracts are more than just writing information and submitting information on a piece of paper. Remember, business is built on relationships. So it's most likely that in most contracts, when you do submit an application, they will require referrals or references. That means they want to speak to at least 2 or more people whom you've done business with before, who are going to give their feedback on your performance so that they can have the assurance that you are a good business person to do business with. In the past, I've always said and emphasized that your network determines your net worth. This is one good example. That means you have a role to play as a founder, as an entrepreneur, to create relationships. If you are just starting, that's okay. What you need to do is to have people who will test run your product or your service, so they will be able to give those recommendations and those references on your behalf. If you are already in business, that means that getting feedback from your supply chain and ensuring that their needs are met and you are satisfying them through satisfactory surveys, and also through building real relationships with those key people who then plays that role when you need them for doing references for you. That is very important. And also, even just guys, keeping quality at the top of what you do. That goes a very long way. And you will realize that the same people, when you're doing contracts, they are the same people who are going to give you recommendations. So it's very important for you to keep an eye and keep a tab on the satisfaction of those that you are servicing, getting feedback, also getting involved and getting to know their business, even giving back some of your time or some of your products for free for them to test. That goes a long way, because that's exactly part of the contract bidding process. Someone will need to write a recommendation for you and vouch for you that you're a good person to do business with. Imagine that. Now, one of the other key elements is setting realistic expectations. When you are doing bid writing, you are better off putting information on things that you are 100% sure that you are able to deliver on, rather than to overpromise and then fail to deliver. That can be detrimental and damaging to your brand. So remember, when you're writing your bid proposals, to be realistic, be honest in your approach, and ensure that everything you promise, you will be able to deliver on it, because that will buy you the trust that money cannot buy. And brand trust adds value to your brand equity. So once you have managed to bid for national contracts and you've been successful, now you can leverage on those recommendations again at national level and look for contracts that are similar in the same space internationally. Maybe this could be a country neighbor next door to the country you're operating in, or a region that is aligning with the region within you are working in. For example, if you have opened your product or your service in the UK-wide market, what's stopping you from expanding that service or product across EU? Now, there could be some new challenges that you will need to prepare yourself for. Hence, the importance of research and research and research. Remember in video number 1, we spoke about research and development credits where you can offset funding from HMRC, R&D funding. This is where it can come, where you can now use some of that funding to do research in new markets, products that are aligning with the government current strategic strategies on expansion. You can look at what are they looking at right now. For example, the government is currently focused on sustainability. So any products or services that are going to tap and improve on sustainability, there is probably funding available. The government will look to avail R&D funding for such things, right? So if you are looking to expand into EU with your product or with your service, you could simply look into what is the government strategy right now, today, on their government website. And you'll be able to realize and see what their interests are, what their focus is. And you take advantage of that focus and tap into what's available. Look at the contracts that are being published right now and then put forward your proposal, your application. You never know. And that is one way you can expand your services and have access to international contracts. Now, you may be asking me the question, Fungai, where do we find this information? And if you are in the UK, because that's where mainly I operate from, you will be amazed that at the moment, the .gov website has got a portal, a supplier portal, where you need to go and register as a supplier and make sure your company details are updated on there and set your alerts, and you will be receiving your contracts according to the categories that you have put yourself as a supplier for, and you will be able to know what's happening in the know. If you are specific to a local council or a local authority for local contracts, you better be sure you've registered on your local authority website and set your alerts for those contracts. You can also set your alerts on Tenders Direct, which is online, where you set your parameters and you set your options, which tenders you want to look out for. And as you do that, you will be receiving alerts. Do more research in your area or in your product or service area of expertise. Do a research on Google and find out information. Who is advertising for tenders where, and where are these tenders? As a matter of fact, you can register yourself globally or even nationwide only. It's up to you what you want to do, but you have got to spend some time, do research, and then come up with a plan and with a strategy. So there you have it, guys. This is how you can tap into national and international contracts. Now, as I've been saying in part 2 of the video, we have got an upcoming dinner where entrepreneurs and businesses who have successfully managed to access national and international contracts and been doing it for years, who are coming to also talk to us on this topic. So 28th of October, 2023 is a date that you want to put in your diary, and be sure you secure your ticket, because knowledge and information is power, and networking is your golden opportunity for you to have access to some of the things that you probably didn't know. And you will never know. As soon as you do that, you will end 2023 on a better note, because you will have aligned yourself with the right people and with the right network. I really hope that you have found this masterclass useful and impactful. I would love to know your comments and your thoughts or questions you may have. As always, comment and let me know your thoughts below. Share this with someone whom you think may benefit from this channel. And don't forget to subscribe onto this channel. I look forward to seeing you soon when I'll be running the next masterclass.